Chairman, thank you. And Mr. Secretary, thanks for being here. Glad to have you here. I want to talk about the budget for just a minute, if I may. And I want to talk about the individual unemployability cuts. Can you explain the rationale of what went through, the thought process that went through this?
Yeah. Well, Senator Heller, my starting point on this is that we always have to do better for our veterans, and we have to deliver on our commitments that we have to our veterans. The President's budget includes significant increases in both discretionary and mandatory funds and makes choice a permanent part of funding. But we have a responsibility to use our current funds in a way that makes sense, best for veterans and for taxpayers. And so we proposed a part of the process that would revise the individual unemployability benefit. The budget is a process, and this was part of a menu of opportunities that we had for thinking how we can make the budget process better. As I began to listen to veterans and their concerns, and VSOs in particular, it became clear that this would be hurting some veterans and that this would be a takeaway from veterans who can't afford to have those benefits taken away. And I'm really concerned about that. So what I'd like to say is that this is part of a process. We have to be looking at ways to doing things better, but I am not going to support policies that hurt veterans. And so I would look forward to working with you and all the members of the committee on figuring out how we can do this better. We have budget numbers and targets that we have to hit, but we shouldn't be doing things that are going to be hurting veterans that can't afford to lose these benefits.
I appreciate hearing that. Do you know how many veterans would have been affected by this change?
Yes, we have 300,000, Jamie?
Yes. There are 300,000 that are in receipt of IU, about 330,000. About 210,000 of those are over the age of 60 and therefore would have been affected.
Would have been.
Yeah.
Correct.
So it wouldn't have been, it would have been retroactive?
It would have been point forward, but to include all veterans in receipt of IU. So when you say retroactive, I don't believe we'd pull any benefits that we've distributed back. However,
Right. No, I'm just saying that if you had the benefit, you could lose the benefit.
Yes.
Yes,
Even
sir,
if
that's
you're
correct.
currently receiving it.
That's
Yes.
correct.
Yeah, that was the proposal, and but we do look forward to working with you to figure out how we could do this
Well, I
better.
appreciate your concern for that. Do you know what the average is per veteran on this IU, what the average intake is?
The average payment?
Yeah,
It's roughly $1,600.
roughly $1,600.
Yes, sir. That's on top of, you have to be rated between 60% to 100%, and it takes you to a temporary 100%. 16% is, or beg pardon, 60% is roughly
Okay.
$1,600. It's about $1,300 more.
So you can understand the financial burden it may pose for an individual, that $1,600 may be. And what I'm more concerned about is, of course, their long-term retirement. They may have not prepared or been prepared if, in believing that that $1,600 may be there, as I think the concern.
I think that's the issue, and this is why we had identified this as an opportunity. I think if we were designing this system from the beginning, we wouldn't have used unemployment insurance to fund people's retirement. I think that was the conflict. But the end result is that is the benefit, and to withdraw this benefit from people who rely on that money is something that would be very difficult to do.
Well, I appreciate your concern for this. Can I change topics for just a minute and make sure I understood this correctly? Did you say that you had a decision-ready claim in 3 days?
We've had 12 of them so far, I think.
12 of
Yes, yes. Yeah, and September 1st, we're going to be rolling that out across the country.
I mean, that's big news.
That's big news.
And I'm glad, because I've been working with these issues, this issue, for years, and to think that you could actually turn one around in 3 days is pretty incredible.
That is a big deal, and we're piloting in St. Paul right now, and again, with a couple of our VSOs. And if the VSO brings in the claim ready to be decided, we
Right,
know.
it's gotta be ready, I get it.
No further development, and we decide the claim.
We had a previous secretary said that he could get the claims down to zero by, I think it was 2015. What's the status now? If this works as well as
I can tell you, I won't say that. I mean, no, I mean,
no
so,
predictions, no
Yeah,
predictions,
yeah.
or where the claims will be.
no. We right now, or we're at about 90,000.
As of this morning, it was 94,000 that we had.
Yeah, that's about what I have too.
Yeah.
There's about 1,200 of them in Nevada.
Yeah, yeah, and I think our goal, Jamie, is by the end of the calendar year to about 70,000.
That's right. That's right.
But these decision-ready claims, we think will take 10 to 15% of them off, so we won't start rolling them out till September, but that will begin to whittle that down, and we hope in 2 years to be down below around half of where we are now.
Okay, okay. Mr. Secretary, thank you, and Mr. Chairman, thank you for the time.